Alright, we are live, people. So, get comfy. And crochet. Well, no, not crochet. Knit, if you're watching the VOD. Yeah, sorry. So, it's, last day of November. Tomorrow is December, holiday season. Fun stuff, woohoo. Right now I am knitting a hat to give as a gift for Christmas. And I went shopping at Dollar General earlier and bought gift wrap. And now I'm just chilling. Film for the vlog in a bit. Some people come. Would have gone live yesterday, but I was traveling and I was tired, so I'm here now, and that's what really matters most. So, there. Skeins are starting to get down to the very end. Following Passionate Kelsey's double-stranded knit beanie tutorial. Been really into these beanies this fall. So, all that good stuff. Okay, let's hit the chat button a few times, because, yeah, sometimes it doesn't show me chat, so. Oh, wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live, hit that subscribe button. We are knitting some Christmas presents tonight. And all that wonderful stuff. Please pardon the dull roar of my electric fireplace. It's cold in here. But heating oil is expensive. Well, I mean, running a space heater can be expensive on your electric bill, but heating oil bills are expensive. So there. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all well. Having fun. It's December Eve. We're in the final stretch of 2025. In about a month it'll be 2026, and I'm sitting here wondering, when the heck did that happen? Like, didn't it just become 2003? Hi, Aaliyah. Well, I think you're Aaliyah. Gives me all your handles instead of names. For some reason. I don't want handles, I want names. If you've been here before, you may have to reintroduce yourself. But yes, hello, Aaliyah. live on a Sunday because I got back into my house last night and just did not feel like it last night, being live, interacting. But it's Sunday night, and I converted the rest of my vacation into a staycation because the weather was supposed to be really terrible in Northeast PA, so I came home to my house early, but I still have a few more days left before I go back to work, so we can have fun tonight as we knit all these fun Christmas presents. I've got lots to work on still. And vlog a bit, because, you know, vlogging, we've decided no Vlogmas this year for me. I might post more vlogs, but we're not gonna do a dedicated Vlogmas. But I got a tutorial filmed today, edit the footage tomorrow, and then it'll be posted Tuesday. And then I'll have my vlog about all the presents I've knitted so far Saturday. I was kind of vlogging about all the different cozy things I was making and then completely lost the plot. So I may just delete all that footage and think of something else to do. Because I started working on that one like a month ago. Fudge the tripod around. Anyway. But yeah, I went to Dollar General earlier today and I bought all the gift wrapping supplies I needed. Put it as a small Pinecraft, yeah, behind the scenes. Trying to make things for Christmas and just completely lost the plot halfway through. Since I realized I haven't sat down and worked on that vlog in like a week. So I just got stuck on the baby blanket I've been working on, which is almost done, but it was like several days of, yeah, still working on it, still working on it, still working on it, and I'm like, okay, we gotta. Maybe I'll save the footage and then do more small footage, and it can be kind of like those. Just nosy enough to watch everything. Yeah. Maybe sometime. I've thought about live streaming me making dinner sometime so you can hear all the delightful swear words that come out as I'm chopping onions. But yeah. I realized this afternoon that I needed to buy gift wrapping stuff because I moved. And all the gift wrapping stuff belonged to my parents. So I had to buy my own. I also needed some shipping supplies like envelopes. And tomorrow I'm going to walk down to the post office because I live walking distance from the post office in this town. And I'm going to walk down. I got to buy stamps. I need more stamps. I'm almost out of stamps. And all my stamps are still at my parents' house. I still keep a lot of my shipping things at my parents' house because I don't have a printer yet. Or my own package scale yet. So, if you want to contribute to me getting a printer and package scale so that I don't have to steal from my parents, I've got a sale going on my website. So, yeah, and it's a real sale. I think I set everything at 30 to 40% off. It's a real Black Friday sale. We used to be a proper country. People used to die at Walmart on Black Friday. Okay, 20% off is not a Black Friday sale. And I actually went Black Friday shopping for the very first time ever this year. Because my aunt wanted to go, and my uncle was always the one that took her Black Friday shopping. And, well, he's dead. He's the one that died. So I took her Black Friday shopping. And it's the first time I've ever gone Black Friday shopping in person. Usually, yeah, I didn't. So, but nope, we went to the mall. Ever? Nope. Well, the height of Black Friday in America was when I was like older child, preteen age. So even if I wanted to go Black Friday shopping, I'd need to be like, hey mom, dad, aunt, and my aunt doesn't drive, so. And my mom is like, you are not going to the mall on Black Friday, you are a child. I'd be like, actually I'm like 13, mom. I'd be like, okay, yeah, but with what money? And I'd be like, yeah, got you there, got me there. So, yeah, no. And then as I got older and had money, I realized I do not want to be stuck in a crowd of people. The deals sound great, but being there sounds terrible. But then Amazon became more than just an online bookstore. So the extent of my Black Friday shopping was I wake up on Black Friday, open the laptop lid, see the deals, check out. I mean, I would go Christmas shopping. I just never went Black Friday shopping. And the extent of me going Christmas shopping was convincing my dad to take me to, my parents to take me to like the dollar store or something so I could use my allowance to buy people Christmas presents. But I always made a lot of my Christmas presents. Or for a lot of people, my mom would buy it and then slap my name on it and say, yep, this is from Gracie. And then it'd be funny. because I think one year when I was a kid, my mom bought my uncle. What are you making? I am knitting a hat. One year my mom bought my uncle some barbecue tools because he loved to grill when he was alive. I don't know, I can't remember how old I was, but I was young and mom bought them and then slapped my name on them and said they were from me. And my uncle was like, yeah, right. Gracie bought these with what money? She's 7. And it's just funny because I remember that, and now I have those barbecue tools because he left me all his kitchen stuff when he died a month ago. My grand inheritance, all of his high-end cooking stuff. Yeah, this past Thanksgiving, it's also partially why I came home early. It was just too weird being out there without my uncle around. We went out for Thanksgiving dinner because he was always the one that made the turkey. My aunt still bought a small turkey to make, but we actually did homemade Thanksgiving on Friday because my brother was with my sister-in-law and her family for Thanksgiving this year. So I hoarded most of the money I got from birthday cards, but I liked buying things at Dollar Tree for people as Christmas presents. Though later when I had a job working as a nanny and I was making actual big girl money, I upgraded to Home Goods for Christmas presents. But yeah, my aunt still got a small turkey for this year to make, and we had Thanksgiving part 2 on Friday after all the shopping and stuff. And I made that turkey, and I don't know if y'all saw that short I posted, because we started making it on Thanksgiving, and it was still frozen after thawing for like 3 days. It wasn't completely frozen, but the legs were still stuck together because they were frozen. So between the use of a space heater and my dad's heat gun, we were able to unfreeze the legs enough for me to unstick them and reach in there and get the bag of gizzards out and then let it finish thawing the rest of the way. And then I cooked it. But the comments I posted on that short, my lord. Everyone's like, oh my god, you're all gonna die, you're growing bacteria. And I'm like, the same bacteria that's gonna be cooked off? So yeah, that got a lot of views and had a lot of people in the comments yelling at me, and I'm like, it's a joke, people. I did it for the views. And guess what? I got 20,000 views of that short on my Instagram feed. And like 8,000 here on YouTube. So many people were met in the comments were like, oh my god, the ER is gonna hate to see you coming. And I'm like, any bacteria generated by me using a heat gun on the frozen turkey to unstick the legs will be cooked off. Hi. Yeah, it's not like I'm using a heat gun to actually cook the turkey and then I'm going to serve my family raw turkey. I just needed to get the legs unfrozen. And anyway, clearly we all ate it and we're all fine. Knock on wood. Don't feel like being humbled by the Lord today, but yeah, no, it's what did you do this Thanksgiving? Moped mostly because my uncle wasn't there. Spent time with my family. All that good stuff. Watched the parade. We went to a buffet for actual Thanksgiving. I made a turkey for when my brother came because he spent it with his wife's family. And because my uncle always cooked the turkey, so this year I cooked the turkey, and there were, obviously I was just talking about it, shenanigans. It was still partially frozen. So my dad and I used a heat gun and a space heater to finish defrosting it. And got a bunch of hate comments on YouTube about it. It was just funny because all the comments I got on TikTok where I posted the video were like, oh, dang, sorry, that sucks. Because everyone on YouTube was like, brother's wife still sends me most of these. Yeah, it does feel very weird still saying it, but they've been married over a month. My sister-in-law, who's actually legally now my sister-in-law. Yeah, but then they came Friday, and my sister-in-law actually came Black Friday shopping with my aunt and we actually, for Black Friday, it was me, both of my aunts, my mom, and my sister-in-law. We all piled into a car together to a mall. Are the needles blue or the needles? Blah, 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 blah. They are blue. I'm using my metal ones. I think they're the Zing needles. I don't know. I got them on Premiere and they were on sale for like $1 a few months ago. I think I got them back in like June or July when I started getting into knitting again. And since everybody's getting handmade this year because mortgage payment, yikes. Yeah. Back when you still bought it. I was good. I actually bought yarn today. I had a free shipping code from Hirschner's because I get the paper catalogs from them. So, I didn't buy a lot. I only bought like $40 worth of yarn. I got enough to make some Christmas presents, sort of. I'm trying to make Christmas presents just from my stash, but I got a commission from a family member, and I had to, like, oh, I want something red, so that I can buy off of you to give as a gift. And then I got home today. Well, I got home yesterday. I was digging around, and I realized I have, like, no red yarn. So I bought red yarn and some yarn to make another granny stitch sweater. The one time I don't have red, because it feels like I always had a lot of red, but must have used it all up. So I bought red yarn today. So yes, I actually bought yarn. Red Heart Red, yeah. So, yeah. I bought it today. And also because I was sitting there tired. So I'm like, yeah, I've been really trying to save money. I haven't bought yarn since August, and my dad was finally just threw the catalog at me and was like, I'm giving you permission to buy yarn. And I'm like, okay, Dad, thank you. So I bought yarn because my dad said I could. And yes, I know I'm a grown adult with my own house and my own bills, but knitted pink flamingo sweater or scarf. I mean, my limit, I am not as good at knitting as I am crocheting. My knitting abilities are limited to hats and scarves and squares. So I can make him a pink flamingo. I can crochet him a pink flamingo sweater, but yeah, no. Plus, these are only some of the very few needles I own. I don't have a lot of knitting needles. It's all crochet. Just because I don't really knit much outside of these double-stranded beanies and the occasional scarf. And really, I picked knitting back up because I really liked this pattern, and I had hurt my shoulder on the left side and couldn't maintain tension. Whereas when I'm knitting, it's different muscles, so that weren't hurting, so I switched sides. And now I just really like knitting these double-stranded hats. I like the look of them, so I might try a double-stranded crochet version of my crochet beanies. Not sure. We'll see. But yeah. Other than that, everybody's getting handmade this year. I'm very non-specific about the gifts I'm making, though. I'll be like, yeah, I'm making this, but that's because my family watches all my videos. And I can't make them not watch the video. It's like, my mom is one of my biggest hype. Like, every time I post a new vlog, she'll pull it up on, like, every device on the house and have it running to try and get my views up. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, Mom, but she's got the spirit. She'll have it going on her tablet, on her phone, on my dad's phone, on both TVs, on her desktop, on my dad's laptop. And I'm like, Mom, I don't think that's how it works. But thank you. I appreciate you. So, but yeah, today I filmed a tutorial for a scrunchie. She's got spirit. She's a little confused, but she's got the spirit. I made a scrunchie tutorial this morning. She is pretty awesome. She's not on the stream yet tonight. I think a friend was visiting. My parents are slowly realizing, oh, we're empty nesters now. Even though I go home once a week because I am not paying for trash pickup out here. So I go home once a week to bring all my trash and throw it in my parents' bin. And I will be bringing, like, my bulky items at home to wash. Just because my washer here is a lot smaller than what my parents have. It's a much smaller washing machine, so. mean, they do not live far away. How goes small town living? Certainly being changing scenery. It's nice. Definitely not used to needing to put gas in my car as often as I've had to now. Back when I was living in town, I'd only ever really need to fill up my car once every 3 weeks or so. And that was just because it would get down to half and I would top it back up because I don't like it getting below half full. Yeah, but now I gotta fill up at least once a week. I could push probably to every other week, but I don't like going below half. But small town living is going pretty good. It's actually kind of nice. I've found that I haven't forgotten things when I go to the store as often as I have. Because back home with my parents, it's like, oh, I'll just turn around and go back to the store to get what I forgot. But now I forget something at the store, well, I ain't driving all the way back out there to get it. I went from living less than a mile from my job and less than a mile from the nearest grocery store, like walking distance to an Aldi, to now it's a 10-minute drive to a small grocery store, half hour to the nearest big supermarket. So I definitely have to stop and double check before I leave. Because it's like you forget something, well, I'm just gonna have to wait until the next time you go shopping, because, yeah. I mean, in an emergency, there is a Dollar General, but I still have to drive to it. Yeah, no, they're not fun. Like, there is a grocery store near here. It's a 10-minute drive down the road. And it's a small, independently owned one, so it has all your basic necessities, but it doesn't have, like, everything a ShopRite or a Wise would have. Or a traditional supermarket. And it definitely doesn't have everything a Walmart would have. But the population out here is so low that it can't really justify having a huge supermarket. Especially when everybody that lives out here already commutes into the larger towns for work. So. Yeah, the nearest Walmart, it's about half hour. So. Got a lot of churches in this town, though. I'm surrounded on all sides. I am making a hat. I am knitting a hat. Craft shops or craft events in your new town? No craft shops in my town. Craft events, there's a lot. My area, this town I moved to, is apparently known for its 4th of July celebration. Because it's like a whole 2-week affair. Like, half the town the roads on the town just shut down for festival stuff and fireworks shows and vendors. And then there's a slightly bigger town, the one that has the grocery store, the little grocery store. That one has a lot of events. That one's only like 10-15 minutes down the road, depending on traffic. Food deserts are no fun. I was going to argue the opposite. Food, yeah. Yeah. No. This is definitely a bit of a food desert. I mean, there's a Dollar General with a nice, a halfway decent grocery selection. But that's not walking distance from my house. Whereas I was walking distance to several grocery stores from my parents' house. And it was easier sometimes to walk to them because traffic was awful. But my favorite part, I think, about small town living right now, though, is that there is only one traffic light in the entire town. One single traffic light. Yeah, desserts is an ice cream pie. And I mean, we do have that. There's a cafe. Literally, I can see it from my window here. They're closed on Sundays, but I literally am looking out my window, and there it is, just down the road. And they have plenty of dessert. Like, there are things in this town that makes it fairly walkable. I mean, there's no sidewalks, but there's a lot of back alleyways that are basically sidewalks. Like, I'm surprised, it's a sleepy little town, but the amount of people walking along this little back alleyway here. And the elementary school is literally right there. Too quick to type. I mean, it's not a dessert desert, I can tell you that. Considering that cafe, I can walk to it and it has a walk-up ordering window where you can walk up, order an ice cream, and leave. And they make a lot of money off of the local kids because the cafe is right out that window there. And the elementary school is right out that window there. And all the kids at elementary school dismissal get out of the elementary school, walk down to the cafe, get ice cream, and then get back on the bus. Because they have a very long busing schedule out here. Since it's small population but big area. And the school district doesn't have a lot of buses, so they have to go and come back and go and come back. So the kids will go down to the cafe, get ice cream, and then go wait. Quiet nature and fewer distractions, great for landscape painting inspiration. Yeah. No, I definitely like it. There's definitely a little, it's like small town hustle and bustle here. Like, I'm considered technically downtown. I live on Main Street, the downtown of the town I moved to. But it's quiet. But like I said, the elementary school is literally right there. Cafe right there. There's a bar slightly longer down that way. Another bar that way. A post office and a bank that way. But yeah, most nights when I'm sitting here, I can see the open sign for the cafe flashing from the window. I've gone there a bunch of times. They're starting to recognize me, so. It's funny. It's a small family-owned cafe. It's run by a woman and all of her daughters, and I think the funniest time I was there was I sat down, and like this girl that couldn't have been more than like 6 or 7 years old came up and was like, "Hi, can I take your order?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay, kid." And I gave her my order. And thought, oh, how cute, owner's letting their kid play waitress. And then she actually came and brought me my order, and I realized, oh, you're actually an employee. Because very young children can work family businesses in the state of Pennsylvania because of the Amish. So, yeah. But only problem though is there is like no food delivery out here. So I might be canceling my DoorDash plan because there's nothing out here. There's no DoorDash. The only pizza place closed. So no takeout. No takeout, and there's no good Chinese food. But yeah, gotta say though, small town living is nice because it's small town living, but it's not so far removed from what I'm used to, having lived in a major urban area. And I mean, where I lived, it wasn't always a major urban area. It had a huge population explosion when I was a kid. So it started off kind of smaller, and then it turned into what everybody around here refers to as the city, and I'm like, huh? Descend into anarchy. Yeah. I mean, everybody's sad about the pizza place, but the owner, I guess, wanted to retire, and none of his kids stayed in the area. I think they all ended up moving out towards my hometown. Because to a lot of people out here, making it is being able to afford to move to my hometown. I'm one of the few people that came out here and they're like, why'd you leave? And I'm like, 'cause it's expensive. And I'm old now, and there's nothing really in my hometown for people my age anymore. So yeah, to them, making it is getting a house in my hometown and moving out there. And then here I am coming here, and they're like, why'd you move here? I'm like, your taxes are actually really good out here. And I'm like, yeah, we do have that going for us. The taxes and utilities cheap. Cost of living out here is so much cheaper. Too. Like, I can fill a grocery cart at the small grocery store. cost of living in my hometown is insane. The taxes are ridiculous. And they're going up. And the land values are getting too like pricey too. Like they're building a ton of high rises. So, and the traffic is terrible. So, the neighbors let their dogs out into their backyard. You got into another hobby while I was gone and there's more lives for me to watch? Oh boy. I mean, if you do know my hometown, then yeah, it got ridiculous. Way different than when I was a kid, when it used to be considered a small town. So I didn't move the city, the city moved to me. Got into sticker scenes. Okay, TikTok keeps trying to recommend those to me. Like, while I was away, when I would scroll TikTok, it kept showing me sticker scene lives and Colombian drug cartels. Like, I have somehow ended up on Cartel Talk. And I'm like, we're hiring pilots. And I'm like, I'm blind. I am not a pilot. Why are you trying to get me to come move cocaine? I've never seen them live though. Yeah, I've seen the sticker scene lives constantly being recommended to me on TikTok. I guess I'm in some kind of targeted demographic for them. I don't know. I don't really watch lives on TikTok very much. I'm more limited to YouTube. Crochet lives. It's lucrative to fly for Colombia. Yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot. I'm blind as a bat, so they don't want me as a pilot, even with my glasses on. It's like, I need to get new glasses. God, Monday last week was awful. I was at I went to my parents' house before I left on vacation, spent some time with the kitty cats. And I lost my glasses and could not find them, like, anywhere. My dad had to call one of the neighbors and be like, can you go help her find her glasses? Because, like, I couldn't find my glasses, and I'm like, alright, well, I gotta drive 2.5 hours to go see family, and I can't legally drive without my glasses. And I don't feel like trying to drive without my glasses, because I can see about this far without them. So I'm like, I'll just go get my old pair, because that's better than nothing. Because I was supposed to leave like a half hour ago. And then I couldn't find my spare glasses. So I did obviously end up finding my actual glasses. But they were in a drawer on my mom's nightstand, and I have none of us have any idea how they got there, because I have never once kept my glasses ever since I started wearing them like 20 years ago. 20 plus years ago. I never put them in a drawer, because with my ADHD, out of sight, out of mind, if it's in a drawer, if it's out of sight, they're gone forever. No object permanent going on here. Do I know how to do the purl stitch? Yeah, but I purl weird. I think it's Russian purling, so. I don't know, I'm not at a good angle to show it off. I would recommend finding... Passionate Kelsey has a really good tutorial on purling. So she knits continental, I knit combination English-Russian. So my right hand is doing all the work. So, yeah. I was able to find my glasses despite having never once ever stored them in a drawer. I don't even store them in a glasses case. They go right on one spot on my kitchen counter. And that's it. If they're not in that spot, they're gone forever. So my dad actually called a neighbor to like come help me look, and then he started going back through the security camera footage on the house to try and find where I last had them on. Because we do have security cameras in my house, because my dad likes to stalk the cats. So funny, people at the internet, they're like, why do Americans have so many security cameras? What are you afraid of? And my dad's like, I just want to see what the cats are doing. Because they're jerks. So yeah, he was going through the security cameras, trying to find where the glasses disappeared. Because they were up in New York at the time. So, but obviously I found them. Because I would not have been driving on vacation until I found them, because it even says so on the back of my driver's license. I legally have to have them on to drive. Which reminds me, I need to make an eye doctor appointment, because just some notifications on my phone. I'm trying to film for a vlog here too. So, yeah. Well, but now my mom said she'll look around for my spare pair so I can have them here at my house as well. They're not necessarily a spare pair, they're in my last prescription before my eyes changed again, so. Some vision correction is better than none. But I do need to call and make an eye doctor appointment. It's been a few years since I last had them checked, and I'm pretty sure the prescription has changed again, because things are getting kind of blurry close up again. And I need to be able to see. Oh wow, it's getting windy. Yeah, we're supposed to be getting a snowstorm starting tomorrow night into Tuesday. Which, chosen to use the rest of my time off as a staycation, so I have tomorrow and Tuesday off of work, which is great. I can just sit around and, well, I can't sit around. I'm going to try and catch up filming for YouTube. I haven't filmed or posted any shorts in forever. I'm not doing Vlogmas, I've decided this year. I bit off more than I can chew in Vlogmas. Between my brother getting married, buying a house, my uncle dying, something had to give. Vlogmas. But I would like to maybe post a vlog once a week in December. Or at least post extra vlogs in December. While not necessarily doing Vlogmas. And I have a market coming up. So maybe I'll also film some extra tutorials for my little Christmas things, like my swirly coasters or something like that, since weekend after next I get to go freeze my butt off at an outdoor market in December. Same one I did last year. And I'm hoping to make some decent money. Who knows with how the economy is. I'll probably cut my prices. I mean, I usually have an in-person discount. I'll price them down a little bit when I'm doing a craft show just because I have shipping costs built in too. Part of the shipping cost is built into the item and then I charge a flat per pound basis on the packages, so usually if I'm doing an in-person show I reduce the price down by the amount I have in there to account for shipping, and I'll run like a buy one get one. But I do sneaky in that I also mark the prices down on my website. Technically, if you know I'm at a craft show, but you can't come, you can check the website and still score things for the craft show price, because, yeah. I don't know. I think maybe I'll make some Christmas bandanas, since I have lots of Christmas cotton yarn. I made a bunch of Christmas acrylic scrunchies. What? Sorry, vertigo. So. But I'm a terrible person to ask for advice on pricing objects, though. Because this is not my job, my full-time job, yet. I have a day job. So, I kind of I tend to lean towards underpricing, because I don't rely on this. And also, I do a lot of craft shows in areas that tend to be economically disadvantaged, so I keep my prices down so that it's more accessible to people with lower incomes, because in my hometown, all the craft shows there are like, okay, we want you to pay this fee and this fee and this fee and this application fee, and you need this license and this license and this license and this permit. Meanwhile, all the surrounding areas, it's like, yeah, just show up. You have insurance? It's fine. Vendor fee? Yeah, like $15. I'll take some $15. That sounds good. They're like, yeah, just show up and put your tent up. It's fine. So those are the kind of shows I do. Obviously, it's different if you're trying to actually make your entire living off of it, doing shows and selling things, but this is more like second job to get me fun money as opposed to job to pay bills. Wow, we made good progress. I only started this hat a couple hours ago. So, yeah. Oh gosh. I just lost my thought. I completely lost my thought process. But whatever, it's fine. Making good progress here. Maybe tomorrow I'll actually film in the yarn room. I gotta add second electric fireplace to my house wish list. And put it upstairs. It's cold upstairs. Even with the heat on, because there's only one heating vent for the entire second floor. Because when the house was first built, they only needed one heating vent for the entire second floor. And then in the year 1900, they built an addition onto the house. And that addition holds the room we're sitting in, one of the bedrooms, and the bathroom. So the kitchen and the yarn room are the original house. And they have no idea when that was built. And there's a shed from like the 80s in the front yard, but I honestly forget about it pretty much all the time. I forget it exists half the time. Right now it's just holding some gardening tools that I forgot about and a toolbox that my sister-in-law's family gave me, because they gave me a ton of stuff. So I still need a couch. And I need batteries, because my aunt got me these nice window candles, battery operated window candles that I can put in my windows for Christmas. But they need D batteries, and D batteries are so expensive. Wait until a giant package of them goes on sale on Amazon or something, I don't know. Oh, and we've been live for an hour. I'd say we're playing a bit of Yarn Chicken. Because this part of this skein is running down, but I have this whole part. And obviously they're the same, so I can just double strand that. It's just easier to pull from two at once, but So, it's not really yarn chicken, but it is yarn chicken. Because then I'll have to pull from a skein both ends at once. And that'll be a tangled up mess. But oh well. So. We are making good progress though on this hat. I only have a few more rows of regular knitting to go. Just 5 more rows of regular knitting to go. And then I do 5 rows of decreases. Because, like I said, I've never really followed a pattern. So even though this is Passionate Kelsey's double-stranded knit beanie pattern, I actually do it differently. Instead of just straight up closing up the top when I'm done, I'll do a row of decrease, do another row, do another row of decrease, do another row. So it kind of makes the top a little less scrunchy, gives it a nice smooth top. All that lovely stuff. Go. I don't know what you're saying. Hello. Blessings. Thank you. Welcome to the live. Just chilling this evening. It's a little quiet right now. If you're just joining, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live, hit that subscribe button, hang out, watch me knit for a bit. We usually crochet here, but I've been in a knitting mood these past few days. And we're in full Christmas present production mode. I think after I finish this, I have a cowl to make knit, and then I'm done with the knitted presents. And then it's on to the crocheted presents. I think the only gift I actually bought this year was for my brother, and that's just because he will not wear anything I make him, because he's a jerk sometimes. You know, he's got sensory things going on, so. Everything I've ever made him out of acrylic, he's like, can't you use wool? And I'm like, no, I'm allergic. And he's like, yeah, but I'd really like it better if it was wool. And I'm like, well, that sucks, but I'm allergic. So there. Deal with it. I do want to knit more in the new year. I want to try knitting a sweater. I've never knitted a sweater before. And I just love the look of those color work raglans with the colorful yokes. I'd love to make something like that. But We shall see. We shall see. I do love this blue by Hirschner's, though. It's called Royal. It's a very nice blue. It's very blue. I like it. Nice. After this, only 10 more rows to go. We'll probably finish this hat on live. And what I really like about this is I have a cowl I made that matches, so yeah. I love it when things match. Probably vlog that. Hold on, chat. Yep. Here we go. Backlit. Hold on. I'm gonna go turn my other lamp on real quick, chat. Don't party too hard while I'm done. Oh no! Are you guys okay? Sorry, I'm old. Okay. Okay, I'm back. And it wasn't even Rocky's fault, because, well, Rocky doesn't live here. Alright, lighting here is much better, and I was able to turn the heater off, heating element portion off. But I still have the flame portion going. Okie dokie. Sorry I dropped y'all, chat. This recliner, it rocks and gives me vertigo. It's a nice recliner though, I like it. It rocks. So we've got 10 rows of this hat left. So we will finish it on live stream. And then I will pull out the rainbow cowl that I was working on earlier. Okay. All right, here we go. And yes, my sweater says Grace. Amazing Grace, and my name is Grace. That's why my mom bought it for me. I actually have 2 of this sweater because I got a giant bleach stain on the front of this one. Because I work with bleach at my day job a lot and keep accidentally getting it on me. So I have a nice version of this sweater and the bleach stained version of this sweater. So I like that lamp there. It's gonna have to move eventually. So that's where the TV is gonna go. Oh, and I got a VCR. I got my uncle's old VCR. Do I have any VHS tapes? No. But will I have VHS tapes in the future? Probably. Because, you know, physical media. God, this chair gives me vertigo sometimes. Okay. I always forget, knitting is a lot slower than crocheting. Though it uses a lot less yarn. So, there we go. Making progress. Gosh, it's dry in here. I need to get a humidifier. that to the list of things I need. Which is actually not a joke. I do have a running list on Amazon that my mom shares around with everybody periodically. So, gotta go find a nice humidifier. Somewhere on the internet, add it to the list along with D batteries. There goes the camera. That's fine. Camera's gonna have to charge in a bit. Okay. So, just a few rows left before I start decreasing. 3 more to go. Then we start decreasing and closing up the top. And then the hat will be done, and we can move on to the cowl, which does not have any pearls in it, so I can zone out a little better. Love a good project where I can just zone out. That's why I like making those chunky linen stitch cowls out of Premier Puzzle. Or just chunky linen stitch cowls in general. Because once they're all set up, I can just zone out and go. Spend some time, a little bit of disassociation time as a treat. Yep. You're in the end of the line of this one here. It's tangle, the final tangle. It's the final yarn bar. Tomorrow I need to take some thumbnail pictures as well. for the knitting vlog, the cozy item vlog, the tutorial. Thumbnail pictures are definitely not my strongest suit. I just slap a bunch of, it's like word art. If you never used word art on Microsoft Word, you are too young to be here. But yeah, that's kind of the approach I take towards making my thumbnails. Is let's just slap a bunch of word art on it and go. And I know the YouTube studio is like, hey, do you want to use this AI to help you make a better thumbnail? And I'm like, no. The extent of my AI usage was to generate some pretty background scenery images to lay text over. And that was it. People are like, oh, I'll ask ChatGPT this. I'm like, no. Do not. Do not like AI. AI is the reason my electric bill is going up. We gotta accommodate these freaking data centers. All right, 2 rows of regular rib knitting left. And then we'll start closing up. And then the hat will be done. And we can work on the rainbow cowl I want to work on. No. Got fuzzies in my nose and my tinnitus is acting up. Being old is no fun, friends. Let's see. Oh, not very chatty right now, guys. Sorry, I'm in the zone. Unless somebody gives me something to yap about. I don't. The garbage contractor is no longer my problem, so I can't complain about that anymore. Especially now that where I'm living, you can actually pick your garbage contractor. And there's like 5 of them out here. So if they make me upset, I can just cancel it and get a new one. I'm not stuck with them. Which honestly, I wish it was just covered by taxes in my area. Like, why we gotta make it a separate bill? Just please. I wonder what time does the post office open tomorrow so I know when to walk over there. Because it's walking distance from my house, so. I may as well just walk instead of driving. I could drive, but it'd be easier to just freeze on the walk over, save gas, and save Mother Earth. All that good stuff. Okay, is chat maybe not coming through? Okay. I know, sometimes it is weird and like people chat, but the messages don't come through. And I have to futz with the settings. I don't like futzing with the settings. Just show me what people are saying, but nobody's said anything. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Okay. We are just gonna pick a couple stitches back up really fast. Because I completely zoned out, didn't realize. And now I don't have enough length to work with. Technical difficulties. That's one thing with knitting I struggle with. It's not as easy to frog as it is with crochet. Okay. So, that whole thing is done. So now we gotta pull from both ends of this single skein and hope it doesn't get into the most tangled up knot you ever did see. And I'm just gonna magic knot them together. Still got a fuzzy up my nose. Boop. Okay. There goes the one cop in town. Okay, back on track. There, like nothing even happened. And just one more row of this to go before we decrease. Must say, every time I make one of these hats, it goes faster and faster. It's really nice. We've been live for very detailed sticker scene. Fun, fun, fun. I've been knitting and purling and knitting and purling over and over and over. But we're almost done with the knitting and purling over and over and over. Soon we're gonna slip, slip, knit. Yarn fuzzies in the face. My neighbor's wind chimes. I gotta get my own wind chimes. I saw some cute wind chimes on Amazon that look like a cat. That I think would be a very nice addition to my porch. Because, shockingly enough, I have a porch. Living the millennial dream. You too can be a homeowner if you decide to move to the middle of nowhere. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we have it. We finished the main part of the hat. So now it's time to do the decrease rows. Where usually I do one row, I decrease, then I just knit a row, then I do another decrease, then I knit a row, then I do a decrease. Fuzzies are attacking me. Okay. These are here harder to do without double pointed needles, but guess what I do not own any of. Not when you can pull it off with circular needles. Why, Hirschners? Hirschner's why. Say what you will about the Ogos, they did not have yarn barf. I'm only person on the planet that misses the Ogo format and thinks they need to bring it back because there wasn't any yarn barf in them. Decreasing is always a little more thinky. So, has anybody been watching any Hallmark Christmas movies? I watched a bunch with my aunt over the vacation because she loves that kind of cheesy stuff. There was one premiering tonight, Christmas at the Catnip Cafe. I would totally be watching that if I had cable, which I do not have. You know, I honest to God thought about getting cable and a landline. When I moved out here, because I don't have any streaming services. I had free HBO Max through my annual Dash Pass plan, but that's ending, so. As soon as that billing cycle is over, no more HBO Max for me. Because I ain't paying all that money. No, what I really need is I need to get an antenna on top of the house so I can get over-the-air TV. Because I had over-the-air TV when I lived in Erie, and I got like 100 different channels over the air. It was great. And I had a lot of them were Canadian channels too, so. So I would really like it since I'm at a really high elevation. If I could get an attic antenna, I can watch TV like in ye olden days. Tinfoil on the rabbit ears to make it work better. Guess what? That still works in the 2020s. That still worked in the 2010s. That's what I did in college. Because instead of allowing cable to the dorms, they changed to digital cable for the dorms and then started charging for it. And I wasn't about to pay that. So there. All right, first round of decreases completed. So now I'm just going to do a regular. Row. And then we'll do another row of decreases. And then another regular row. And then we will do a full round of decreases. We'll bind off, the hat will be done, and we can work on a rainbow cowl. So stay tuned. As I fight with this skein of yarn. Because I'm pulling from both ends at once. And Passionate Kelsey makes that look easy. But let me tell you, it is not. I guarantee it. It's not easy. Excuse me, jeez. All right. Time for another round of decreases. Figure out the logistics here, 1 second. Got it. Okay. Now I just gotta do some finagling with this skein because it doesn't want to cooperate. Doesn't want to cooperate one little bit. Wait. I already did the decrease. Now I want to do the knit. Okay. Getting ahead of myself here. Whew, that wind. Storm's coming. Well, that and it's just always windy here. Bunch of creaky old noises that make me jump. Make me jump and think, is this something I have to worry about, or is it okay? So, yep. Righty. See, this is where it would be easier if I had double pointed needles, but it's fine that I don't. Decreasing always goes pretty quick, I would say. Hey, okay. I'm gonna do one final round of regular stitches, and then one last round of decrease, and then we're done. And it's just straight knit stitch from here on out. Tangling up. be great. That's what you get when you pull from both ends of the skein at once, and it's a big honking skein falling apart. You run into issues like that. All right, chat. Just one round left, everybody. And then this hat is done and we can move on to the next project. We do need to take a quick pause though, because yarn. My yarn has a stomach bug, so we need to deal with that. Okay. All right, that is dealt with. Whoop. Vertigo. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna pull it. Oh my lord, look at this. My poor skein. Okay, we deal with that when we get closer. Still got fuzzies up my face. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, here we go. First one done. And this is just the very last row. We're just decreasing every stitch. And then binding off at the end. Doing the slip, slip, knit. Though all these are knit stitches now, so I could do knit two together, but that would make it slant funny. And these stitches are getting super tight. Okay. Alright, this is probably going to be a problem in a bit, so... This is always the hardest part because, like I said, the stitches get so tight towards the end. Okay. Getting to the very end here. That a little easier. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oop. Oop. Okay, we're getting down to the very last stitches. Okay, we did it. For the most part. Now I just need to line this up. Set up the camera real quick. Scissors. Okay. Well, we don't need to worry about this right now. So we'll set that aside. Oh, I need to reach down, find my tapestry needle. And just gotta sew up the top here. Right. It is done. I have completed a hat. It's nice and stretchy too. I'm gonna just weave in these ends here really fast, just to make sure everything is fully secured. Go around the top a couple times so that the friction will hold it together. These are the kind of hats that if I had some fake fur pom-poms, I would love to attach them. So maybe if I ever decide to add some knitting things to my shop online. I'll start including pom-poms. And then I'll save the yarn worms, because I'm still getting like a million scam letters in the mail trying to get me bought to buy warranties and pay transfer taxes, and I'm like, I already did all that at closing. So I will be mailing these yarn worms to the scammers in the business reply envelopes, because the business reply envelopes they have to pay for. So they get to pay for yarn worms. Yarn worms. I'm doing my part to deal with these scammers. So there's the hat. And then since I fold the brim, I weave the end in on the outside of this way. Sorry if watching me weave ends is boring, but if I don't get it done now, I won't get it done at all. And that would be sad. Especially considering this is a Christmas present, so it needs to be. Really, really, really needs to be done. All right. It's a really pretty hat. The hat is done. Ugh. Now let's work on this. Because I just always have a million things going on here. Now I'm going to sit and work on this rainbow colored cowl for a while. We're still live, and I will probably stay live for a little while longer and just knit. Okay. Alright, chat, we'll knit for a little while longer. We're past the 2-hour mark and it is getting late and I'm sleepy. But I have tomorrow off and Tuesday off, so we're not in a dire need to go to sleep, so probably give it about 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, depending how sleepy I feel. I am going to try and at least wake up usual time tomorrow to fix my sleeping schedule. Then, yeah. Click this. Row counter for this one. So yeah, this is a Caron anniversary cake that I've been working on since September. I got it as a birthday gift. And it's still going, my friends. Still going. Have I been getting any messages whatsoever? Nope, just the Nightbot. It's fine. It's okay if you're quiet, chat. I just need to make sure because sometimes the messages haven't been coming through. So just making sure everybody's just vibing and not a technical difficulty. And this is just regular stockinette stitch, not any rep knitting. Yarn is really pretty. Thank you. It is a Caron anniversary cake from this year, and I can't remember the color, but it was a big honkin' skein I got for my birthday from a friend, and I'm still working through it. Like, I've made so many hats out of this thing, and this is still, it's insane. I understand why people love these things now. I'm definitely, next time Caron anniversary cakes come around, I'm going to be getting some. It's 1,000+ yards of a 5-weight yarn. Claims it's a 6-weight. This is not a 6-weight. This is a 5-weight. And it makes lots of hats. I initially wanted to do a how many hats can I make out of this skein, but it just kept coming and coming and coming and coming, and then I hurt my elbow, and then I hurt my shoulder, and I hurt my wrist and all that. And so I actually did delete all that footage, because it was like 2 days worth of me being like, here's how many I made today, here's how many I made today. And like 2 weeks, and then it's like, yeah, no, we're not seeing how many hats I can knit in a month, because I went and hurt myself. And then it was my brother's wedding, and then my uncle died, and then I bought a house, so I had other things in my mind. But yes, rainbow things are very pretty, and that's why I got this particular colorway, because it was rainbow. And the way the colors are working out, pretty cool. Whee! See, when I don't have to knit, purl, alternate, when I can just knit, I can go pretty quick. And I do like combination English-Russian. I hold the working yarn and do all the work with my right hand, but I go into the stitch backwards, which is why it's called Russian. Or I don't know. The video that I learned to knit from said that it was called Russian style, the way I knit. So I go into the stitches backwards. Yeah, sounded like something went thunk on my porch with that gust of wind. Good Lord. fierce out here. Yep, there goes the furnace. At some point I have to go down into the basement and check the fuel gauge, see how much heat oil there is in the tank. I think I checked it last night and it was still holding pretty strong. I don't know, man. But we are nearing the end of this row. Yeah, I think I cast on something like 200 stitches for this. There we go. Okay. Oh. Phone is yelling at me to go to bed, so we'll record a couple more vlog clips, go for a little while longer. But then we have to say goodnight. Okay. You know, it's so funny how it's interesting how I knit English style, because I know most crocheters, if they do knit, they knit continental style, because I hold the yarn in my left hand when I crochet, but for some reason when I knit, I always have my right hand doing all the work. Which makes me wonder, maybe on another project I'll try with my left hand. am knitting a cowl right now. Got done knitting a hat earlier in the live. Now we're knitting a cowl. Making Christmas presents. And all the lovely stuff that goes with making Christmas presents. And my giant Skein Karen anniversary cake is just rolling around on the floor. Carpet's clean. Don't worry about it. You're working on Christmas presents too. That's nice. What you making? Furnace is done. I cannot wait though to switch to electric baseboard heat. Everyone's like, electric baseboard heat is so expensive. Oil heat is so expensive. Gas heat is so expensive. It sounds like heat in the general is just expensive. And you can't win. So I want to convert to electric baseboard because the electric bill would be cheaper than what I pay for therapy to deal with my crippling fear of carbon monoxide. Scarves, hats, stockings. Sounds fun. I've been on a cowl and hat kick. Making matching sets and all that good stuff. But once I finish this one, we're going to go back to the crocheting. I had such an urge to knit this week while I was on vacation. And I mean, now I'm on staycation. Ended up coming back early. So, but I'm going to take the rest of my time as a staycation. Christmas tree skirt. I should make a Christmas tree skirt. I still have to put up my tree. I gotta get it from my parents. So that'll go up sometime this week. And then I might crochet some Christmas ornaments for it. I don't know. I will figure that out when the time comes. But I have a spot ready for my tree. I just have to go get it out of my parents' garage. And remember to film me putting it up. I mean, it's a small tree, it's short. So all that consists of me putting it up is just setting it on the floor and then putting some pretty lights on it and plugging it in. Maybe I'll get some garland or I'll crochet something. Kind of busy with Christmas presents and market prepping, so we'll see. Color lights. I have a set of colorful lights that play music. They're a recreation of a light set that we had on our tree growing up when I was a kid that played music. And my mom always hated those lights, but I loved them. And then about 10 years ago, they stopped working. I was devastated. Mom was secretly thrilled. Because she always hated the music part of them. And then last year around Thanksgiving, I was sad and mopey. Well, the first thing to note is that those singing Christmas lights, my grandmother had bought them. My dad's mom, she had bought them for my first Christmas because I just loved staring at the lights. So she's like, here, let's get the baby some lights with music on them. And they were just like the most important part of Christmas time at my childhood. It wasn't Christmas until those lights were on and the first chimes of Angels We Have Heard on High started. So, last year around Thanksgiving, I was feeling sad because my uncle had also that year sold my other uncle, the one that's still alive. I have had two uncles. My dad's older brother, and then my dad's sister's life partner. He was the one that passed away. But my dad's older brother sold my grandparents' house. Last summer. And then I was up there at my aunt's house, which is in the same area. And I was sad and mopey and just like, oh man, all these traditions in my life are changing. And what do I get but suggested to me by the Amazon algorithm a recreation of those singing lights? It's a sign from my grandmother, I've decided. Because you know what I did? I immediately added to cart and paid $30. Got them home, was all excited. And then I hid them because I was going to surprise my mom with them. Every time I mentioned, man, I miss those singing lights, she would bring up how much she hated them. And then I put them on the tree. And then I got home from work one day. They were on the tree. My mom and dad got home from work after me. Oh, yes, I absolutely bought them. I bought 2 sets, $30 each. because I literally sat there and said out loud to my aunt, I miss the traditions from my childhood. I feel like everything is changing. And then I picked up and was like, oh yeah, Black Friday shopping. And they were right there. Those singing lights were right there on Amazon. First thing recommended to me. So I was like, it's a sign. So I bought 2 sets. Put them up on the tree at home in secret because I got home from work before my parents do. I still get home from work before they do. Since they work a traditional 9 to 5, I work 7 to 4. So I put them on in secret. I was just sitting there smiling, and they got home. And my mom was like, oh, you're in such a good mood today. Did you have a good day at work? And I just hit the button, and they started singing, and my mom started screaming. And I just started laughing, and my dad was like, what is happening? And I'm like, guess what was recommended to me on Amazon? When I was crying to my aunt about how everything was changing. The singing lights from my childhood that my mother always hated. I was secretly glad when they died. Well, guess what? I found them. And I paid $60 American to buy 2 sets. In case the one on the tree had an unfortunate accident. And I just smiled, and I hit the button, and they started playing, and my mom started yelling, and my dad turned around, and he walked out and was like, and he left. He got back in the car, and he went to the store. He was like, I'm not dealing with this argument. And mom was like, what did you do? And I'm like, they're back. So. Yeah, they're the singing lights that appear in the background of some of my very early vlogs. So I've been vlogging for about a year now. And I had a couple shots of them in the background in some of the vlogs. And God, just the way she started screaming, she was like, no! I was like, yes! I found them! They found me, actually. Well, I mean, finally my dad was like, Ma, it's a sign from my mom. So just let her have this, so. Of course, I'd have them going, and then after 5 minutes, my mom and I were in a subtle war over them the entire Christmas season. I'd turn them on, and then 5 minutes later, she'd come in and turn them off. And then I would make direct eye contact with her and turn them on. And then after some back and forth a couple times, she would pull out my full government name, and I would let them stay off because I'm an old fart now, but I still fear my mother and my full government name being said by her. But now, this Christmas season, I moved out. So, I can play them as much as I please, and Mom can have her peace and quiet. But she's not on the video tonight. So what she doesn't know is that I gave the second set to my brother. And he's hosting Christmas this year at his house. And he's going to put them up. Though he wasn't as attached to those lights as me. I don't know. He's not as sentimental as I am. I'm incredibly sentimental about things. So, but yes. Yeah, so I gave the second set to my brother, and he's gonna put them up for his Christmas tree, but he's not gonna turn them on until we're all there, just to scare my mother. I think my mom's main issue with them is that they played at a certain pitch, I guess, that she just could not stand. Like, certain pitches of noise drive certain people crazy, and I guess those lights played at a pitch that drove her nuts. But yeah. Yep, 10 out of 10. Best this. Yeah, they started. I sat there smiling, just hit the button, and they started playing. And my mom was instantly like, "What? Where did those come from?" And Dad was just like, he just left. He's like, "I'm not sticking around for this one." So. I'm excited. All right, chat. It is getting late. I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna finish this row on this cowl. And then I'm gonna say goodnight. What color is that yarn? I can't remember, but it's from one of this year's Caron anniversary cakes. And it's rainbow. And it looks really pretty. And I did the seed stitch for the first 3 rows, and now I'm just doing stockinette. But it was one of this year's Caron anniversary cake collections. So, the rainbow one. Because there were a bunch of monochrome ones, and then this rainbow one. But the label for it is long gone. I don't save my yarn labels. One of those weirdos. I just try, I save them in the big box that we save all our paper junk in. And then we use them in the winter at my parents' house for the wood stove for kindling. Because yarn labels make really good kindling. Alright, chat. Well, I think this is a good stopping point to say goodnight. This is the first one. I didn't buy it. I got it as a gift from a friend for my birthday. Because that was when I had started the yarn buying ban for myself, because I was trying to buy the house. But yeah, they're like $30 each. So, but it's like over 1,000 yards of a 5-weight yarn. So it works out. That's why it's so expensive. But all right, I'm gonna set this down and say good night. I'm gonna go to bed, and we'll go live again sometime soon. Sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow night we'll do a live or something, because I have tomorrow and Tuesday off work, but whatever. All right. Good night, everybody. I will see you all again soon.